boy was cruel. He actually put a firecracker into the mouth of a frog and blew it into pieces. At that moment, the boy's father came out to check the noise. It turned out they had just entertained themselves with the frog. Immediately after, the father said that this would offend the Frog Lord, and the boy was puzzled. Then, the father explained that the Frog Lord is an amphibious creature with mysterious powers. He will always punish those who offend him. The bones deep in the swamp are all caused by frogs. Because of this act, the Frog King has already targeted you. Only by going to the swamp in person and apologizing to them can you avoid disaster. So, after saying goodbye to the boy's mother, they set off. On the way, the boy was very scared, but the father said that only by using specific spells could they deceive the Frog King. Then, the father began to tell the story of the Frog Lord. When the father was in school, a new student came to the school. Because he seemed to have no neck, and he had a strange fondness for frogs, we made fun of him and hurt the frogs, and even dressed them in embarrassing clothes. So, when children went missing, people thought that the new student with no neck was whispering our sins to the vengeful Frog Lord. And we had learned about frogs in school. Only certain spells were known to deceive the Frog Lord and avoid his punishment. But at the same time, the new student became more and more like a frog, and then he left. Just as the man was getting absorbed in the story, suddenly countless frogs appeared in the water, sticking out their tongues and kidnapping him, and his child was also tied up. Immediately after, they were taken deep into the swamp, and sure enough, the Frog Lord was waiting for them there. After a conversation, the Frog King said that it was you who killed my children and insulted me when I was in school. So, your punishment is to be slowly swallowed by a giant frog. At that moment, a giant frog crawled out of the water, and its mouth was full of the father's classmates. For decades, they had been suffering in the giant frog's mouth. At that moment, the father asked the boy to learn the special spell. To everyone's surprise, the frog really couldn't tell the difference. It turned out that the spell was to imitate the croaking of a frog. But through contact, the giant frog found out the location of the father and the boy. Then, the giant frog stuck out its tongue and wrapped the man into its mouth. All the frogs began to scream excitedly, and one of the little frogs even wanted to scare the boy with a gun. But surprisingly, while fighting for the weapon, the Frog Lord was accidentally shot. At that moment, all the frogs were stunned. But immediately after, the frog world, now leaderless, began to have internal conflicts over who would be the new Frog Lord. Finally, the father and the boy took the opportunity to leave and returned home. But a frog came to the window.